What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy Podcast live stream. Taco Tuesday tongue twister.
That's what it is.
Tag along.
Yeah, it feels good to hear it again.
What, Taco Tuesday?
Oh yeah, I love Taco Tuesday. It's my favorite.
We're glad to have you back, Josh. How did your I think it was like a reincarnation ceremony that you were at yesterday in the Central South American jungles.
It was great. I've never had a better Central American trip in my life, to be honest with you.
Jail, isn't Mesopotamia in the Middle East?
I don't think so.
Wait,
I'm pretty sure it is. We determined
Maybe.
it was Central and South America yesterday.
I think it might be. Yeah.
Asia.
The only reason I knew that, I think, wasn't that like Alexander the Great? Didn't he do some
What am I
stuff in there?
thinking of?
You know.
What am I thinking
Isn't it
of?
between the Tigris and Euphrates
Mes-
rivers in the breadbasket of civilization?
Yes, situated within the Tigris Euphrates river system.
See, I know all about Mesopotamia.
I'm thinking of
the Mayans.
Mayans. Maybe.
There you go.
There it is. There it is.
Mesopotamia.
The Mesopotamians.
Mesopotamia.
Same thing.
The Mayatopamians. Okay, enough of that. There's your history lesson for the day. Everyone tuning in, but we are not a history podcast. At least not at 3 p.m. on weekdays. We do those as late night streams. We don't advertise them. You just have to happen to jump in whenever we are streaming. Oh, but it looks like we're having trouble streaming to Twitch.
To
Twitch right now. So any of our Twitch viewers, I apologize. It looks like it's not
going
through.
They can't hear you, so you're not really apologizing to them.
You're right. I'll have to apologize.
Really good point.
That's
I would like to apologize in person to each and every one of them because I probably could. No, I'm joking. Just kidding. Kidding.
What I would like to apologize for is our cold streak on our prize pick selections. We're going to pull that up right now and look at our picks from last night. You know what? I still love our process. Like, all the reasonings were good. I like the process. Our time's coming. We're not going to make our new ones today, but we are going to look at the board a little bit. But I'm just going to show you our entries from last night. So our first entry last night was Darnell Mooney over 11 and Adam Thielen under 14. Darnell Mooney.
I did real poorly.
Yeah, we both did really bad. You know, the Ryan Nall one I feel like was a gimme. We both wanted that one, and that one came to fruition. But the Darnell Mooney one, I really thought Nick Foles was going to be able to get it done against that Vikings secondary. And he was not able to. The announcers, I forget who said it, but they pointed out something in the defensive coverage that until Chicago was able to get anything going in the running game, that Minnesota was just going to play too deep on every single pass to help out those young people in the secondary. And it worked. Nick Foles couldn't get anything done. Cordarrelle Patterson gave them a little bit of a boost in the run game, but
he looked good.
He looked awesome. He was fun to watch.
He was like fighting for every single carry.
So you picking up in fantasy?
Yeah, Dynasty RB1.
I traded Christian McCaffrey for him, actually.
Oh, good call. No, the reason I bring it up is because, man, he looks good a lot. Like, how often have we been like, he looks so good that game? But I bet you he doesn't score again this season. Yeah, I'm willing to make that bet.
It's likely. It's likely.
Yeah. No, he did look good. I don't mean to kill your vibe on Cordell.
Yeah, my vibe is sufficiently killed. Thanks, Josh.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, the vibe was already killed because we're about to look at the 3 losing picks. The Darnell Mooney one, Adam Thielen under 14. Again, I like that process.
Wow, that one-handed catch, though.
Oh my gosh,
that was incredible.
Yeah. As soon as he caught that, I was like, well, I guess we are not hitting on that one, because after a catch like that, they're not going to be like, okay, we'll just let you sit the rest of the game.
It almost held. He was still under until maybe like the third or fourth. He caught the second touchdown, which sealed the fate.
Yep. And then Kyle Rudolph under 6.5. JL, we even flirted with it yesterday. We were saying if Irv Smith was in there, we would have taken the over on this same line, but we didn't trust Kyle Rudolph. I think I talked you into the under on that one after stealing your Ryan Nall pick. So I'll even take responsibility for that one.
What was the one I was going to go with? Was it
Jimmy
Robinson under?
Allen Robinson under, and you also flirted with Jimmy Graham over.
Dang, Allen Robinson under probably would have hit. I think it did hit.
Definitely hit.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. I don't know what it was at, but
so
he didn't have a very good game.
17 maybe?
He definitely was under that. Yeah, I think it was at 11 PPR points.
We're not doing too hot, guys. So
I did well on my personal entries.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Doesn't count.
Dang it.
At least not for the stream. This is the board for the Thursday night game. I'm just going to give you guys a sneak
Wow.
preview. We are not going
Wow.
to make our picks
Wow.
today. We're going to make them on Thursday. But there's just some things in here I wanted to point out. The Kyler Murray at 27.9.
He kind of
That-
deserves it.
That might be the highest line I've ever seen on this
And
site.
what are you going to
And
take?
I think I would still take the over against Seattle.
I know, right?
I don't know if I have the balls to take the over on a 27.9 line. That's insane. But what are you going to do?
It looks like
Not
Twitch is
take-
working again. Sorry.
Yeah, I removed it. I'm trying to troubleshoot it, but
Oh, gotcha. Good luck.
removed
But
it and
yeah,
re-added
I'm right
it.
there with you, Simon. I'm probably not going to pick Kyler Murray over or under, but man, that's nuts.
If someone
He
held a gun
deserves
to your head and said over or under 27.9
Over.
fantasy points, I'd take the over.
So,
I mean, just some of these lines are just nuts. Like, look at how many over 15. You've got both the Seattle wide receivers at around 17 and a half, DeAndre Hopkins at 22, and then even Christian Kirk at 14.4. Like, this better be the most fun game of the season to watch because these
might
lines
be.
are setting some high expectations. I'm curious what the over under is for this game.
I've got some guys I like here over under wise. Won't get into that yet, but soon enough I will. It's Thursday. Yeah, wait. Yeah, hang around
Easy.
until Thursday.
And if
Just
you guys
stay
have
here.
any lines that you think look good, let us know. We'll take
take any
suggestions.
advice
We'll
we
look
can
into
get.
it. We've been struggling, but you know what? This week is our week. This game is our game, and then the slate this Sunday is going to be our slate. We got it. So the over under is
No doubt.
56 and a half, and the Cardinals are favored by 2.5.
Wow, that's crazy.
Should
That
be a
is
fun
wild.
game. I'm excited for it. Looks like Twitch isn't working again, but That's okay.
Who needs them?
who needs Twitch? Just kidding. We love Twitch.
We do.
Today, Josh, I don't know if you are back in the swing of things after missing yesterday. You might be a little slow. We are playing another round of Fantasy Horse after week 10 wrapped up last night in that Bears Vikings game. I know we talked about it a little bit in relation to our picks, but anything else about that game you want to talk about before we start playing?
It was boring. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry. It was kind of a slow game though.
It was.
We started out with 2 turnovers pretty early, and I thought maybe we'd get like a really exciting, like horrible game. Know what I mean? Like the games
Oh,
that are
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
so bad they're exciting.
Yeah.
But it didn't really come to fruition. But
That's
after
a
after the fumble, immediately followed by the interception, I think it was a Kyle Rudolph fumble, and then Nick Foles obviously threw the interception. But I thought we were going to start. I thought that was the start to a really fun night turnover wise, but
It was not.
it was not. That's okay. I don't know how there is a little bit of fantasy relevant stuff from that game though, obviously. So maybe that'll come up. Hopefully you watch the whole thing because that very well could come up in today's questions. Hopefully you're not feeling rusty after all that time off. A whole day.
Oh, you're talking to me. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
to the audience. Not joking. I'm not rusty. You know I'm gonna win, Simon.
What about that
Let's
jet
be
lag?
honest. Let's be honest.
There's
Yeah,
a lot.
that trip
All the way
really
to Asia,
wore on
yeah.
me. No, I work better with jet lag actually.
Oh,
Little
wow.
known fact.
Yeah,
You
of course.
accidentally flew to Asia first, thinking that's where you had to
Malaysia.
go. And
Yeah.
Malaysia. I see.
Uh-huh.
oh, now I'm hungry.
Why? Because
You
Malaysia.
said there was a Malaysian street food restaurant near my house in Atlanta, and it was freaking incredible.
Yeah,
It was
I could
so
see
good.
that being. I could see that being.
And I
pretty
don't
delicious.
hear Malaysia said very often. Like it doesn't come up in conversation. So I
Malaysia.
think I immediately correlate it with the delicious street food.
I think of Zoolander.
Zoolander.
The Prime Minister of Malaysia. You ever seen Zoolander?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think of
Yeah.
Formula One. I feel like
Yeah.
they do a lot of F1 in Malaysia. Trying to think what else we know about there. Formerly known as
Nothing
Burma,
else.
right?
That's all they do.
Mm.
Oh no,
Wow,
Myanmar.
that was.
Nope.
I was about to say that was a
Wrong
hell of
country.
a snag.
Myanmar was formerly known as Burma,
Burmos. Yeah.
or the other way around. I'm not sure.
We are back on Twitch though, so
We're back on Twitch. Welcome, guys, to the
And let's go. Yeah, Twitch. Bring, come on in.
welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy History Podcast. You missed it, but you missed the history
Nope.
segment. We are on to Fantasy Horse now.
Okay. Yeah. Don't get me started on history. I could.
oh my
We
gosh.
talk about some
Me
history.
too.
Yeah. You ever Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, The Wrath of the Khans?
Yes, we know you
Best
love it,
podcast-
both of
the best
you.
podcast you can listen to.
It's
It's
excellent.
incredible. It's a great
I
podcast.
digress.
You guys ready to jump into some fantasy horse?
I'm ready to host.
Yep. Okay.
Jump in.
John Luke, who is going first?
All right. Josh is actually going first.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Simon's upset about it. Let's go. This is perfect. This is great. I've already got Simon where I want him.
Already
him
got
over
him right
there.
where he wants. All right, Josh.
Forget
This
his
one is
shoes.
for you.
I am ready.
All right. My question for you is:
Hit me.
did Darren Waller finish in the top 15 at his position in PPR fantasy points?
You son of a. Yeah, I mean, so I know he had. Man, he didn't. Oh, that's a tough one. PPR. I know he had some catches, but I know he didn't do well. But no one did well at the tight end position. I'm going to say yes, he did. Locking it in. I know I could have passed it to Simon. I don't want to. Yes, he finished
I
top
would've-
15.
I would have said no, just so you know.
Okay. Well, I don't
All
care.
right. Well, Darren Waller had 6.7 points
Ooh.
in week 10, and he finished as tight end 16.
Oh, you son of a no!
A little Josh math there for you.
That's a hard shot at me. All right, that's not fair.
Listen, I developed that question specifically for you, Josh.
You've been joshed.
You've
There's gonna
just
be
been
some
Josh.
JL questions going forward when Josh is host. All right.
That'll never happen.
I'm
So
just
Josh,
good,
that
good
gives
question.
you a big ol' H.
Dumb
big ol'.
question.
Big ol' one on the scoreboard.
What about the sampling size? You know.
The sampling size is not relevant here. All right.
God darn it.
Simon, are you ready for your question?
I'm ready.
JP Stoots is sup, Kev. Kevin's not here, so
Kevin doesn't care about you.
I bet Kevin is here. He just
Get
hasn't
outta
said
here.
bird up yet.
Well,
Yeah.
he usually goes on through Twitch, I think. So
he might be having issues. And we lost
might
Simon.
be, yeah. It's, again, we don't need Simon. We don't need Kev. We don't need Twitch.
We don't need
We just
anyone.
need we just need you and me, JL.
yeah. That's all we
Yeah,
need.
that's all we need.
How you doing today,
Yeah,
Josh?
we're bonding. I'm doing great.
You're looking
Look at me.
handsome.
Look
Give
at
me my question.
Yeah,
Enough
thank
of this
you. You
love
too.
fest.
You too.
All right,
Yeah,
Simon.
fuck. Screw you, JL.
There were 6 games in week 10 where the winner won by 10 or more points.
Name all 6.
3 of them.
God, I did jail when I was studying. I did the opposite because you asked a question similar to this before, where they were one possession games, and I went through and I memorized all the one possession games.
So just do the
But-
inverse. All
Yeah, but I
all
don't-
the ones that you memorized, do the opposite.
Oh God.
Or pass
Do I
it
have
to
to name-
Josh to make him.
Do I have to name both teams that were in the game?
It just says the winners.
Yeah, you can name the winner. That's fine. Or both teams. Whatever's easier for you.
Okay. So the
You should.
Steelers.
It shouldn't be hard to know who they played.
I'm playing.
should be-
I'm playing. Steelers played the Bengals and they won by more than 10.
Or did they?
They did. They did.
Or did they?
In week.
Now he's
10.
frozen. Look at him.
No, I'm trying to think. No, I know the Steelers did. I'm trying to think of the other two.
You
Trying to
sure
think-
did?
I'm trying to think of some other of the non-exciting games. So the Rams game was one possession, I'm pretty sure.
What up, Sean?
What's up, Sean?
Sean,
You're seeing me
Sean,
struggle right
Sean.
here trying to come up with the other two games.
Man, I miss Sean.
The
He's
Ravens
right here. You don't
Patriots
miss
game
him.
was one
This is-
possession.
I missed him. Sorry.
The Browns
Easy.
Texans game was one possession. The Bills Cardinals game was one possession, obviously. So that wasn't by
Got it.
10 or more points.
They just wanted to throw it up to DeAndre Hopkins in the end zone.
Oh my
Vikings
That's the other game.
Bears was not one possession or was one possession.
Was it?
Yeah. Was Saints 49ers?
Ooh.
Mm,
I'm gonna okay. So
Or
I'm
was
gonna go
the
Bengals
49ers.
Steelers. What'd you say?
Hmm?
What did you say there?
Nothing.
Crushing it on one possession games. Yeah, I got it. I got the one possession games down. I'm just
He
struggling to remember
studied
the
one
blowout.
possession game.
Memorized all the one possession.
With the
Memorized
one
the one
possession
possession
games.
games. I'm just
Just
struggling to
hoping
remember
that
the other
hoping that it
ones.
gives him like a little bit of credibility after he can't name any of the.
Like, listen, guys, I can name all the one possession games.
Hmm.
I have a very
What games
narrow set of expertise of knowledge.
Yeah. Yep. Shoot. Oh wait.
I'm about to call the
Raiders.
people over here
Raiders.
to,
Who did the Raiders
come
play?
in and talk to you?
Raiders played the.
If you don't know who they played, then-
Raiders played the Broncos. So Raiders
Raiders.
Broncos. The
Yeah, that was
Rhinos.
definitely more than one possession.
Yeah,
Or
Raiders
10 points.
Broncos, Saints 49ers, Bengals Steelers. I think
Yeah,
the
you're
Saints
right.
49ers one might throw me off, but
You're definitely right.
okay, those are my three answers.
Yeah.
All right, so Colts Titans. Colts had 34.
Oh,
Titans had 17.
I couldn't remember who the Colts beat, but now that you say it, duh.
Bengals Steelers. Bengals had 10. Steelers had 36. Bucks Panthers. Bucks had 43.
Diggity Dog knew it.
Yep.
Diggity Dog said it right before you.
Panthers had 23. It's a good reminder to stay out of the comments, fellas, while you're answering. No. 49ers Saints. So 49ers had 13. Saints had 27. Eagles Giants 17-27. And Broncos Raiders 12-37. So Simon, you nailed it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
My studying, it took an indirect path, but the studying did help. I was able to eliminate a bunch of games.
Studying. I'm smart. I'm a
Studying.
nerd. Yeah.
So Josh, you're
Study.
a hoe.
Yep. Josh is
I
a
always
big ol' hoe.
like just went with my gut one test. You know, who studies? You know,
And I'm
just
a
like
nothing.
Whatever your body's telling you, right?
Dude, we're
Whatever
not
your
talking
body-
like hardcore studying. We're just talking like what were the scores of these games, and then
I
taking
know.
special note of the one possession ones. Even though
Now
JL tried
I
to
think
throw me for a
you
loop.
got like a textbook, like a week 10 textbook.
You know
were
what?
reading through, like
I'll send you my Quizlet.
highlighting.
I'll send you my Quizlet for next week, and you can
That's a
go
good
through the
content
flashcards.
idea. We should make a weekly textbook.
Actually,
McGraw Hill. Does anybody know
Hmm.
anyone at McGraw Hill?
Pearson, I'd rather go through
Pearson?
them.
Yeah, you're right. Pearson's
Pearson,
more
much better
respectable.
company, much better
Way more
company.
respectable. Eco-friendly.
Are they?
I have no idea.
Either.
What's going on,
Oh,
Simon?
man. Don't worry about Simon. It's my question anyway.
All
Let me
right.
check my camera settings. They keep
Get you a
defaulting
new
to something
computer.
else. Okay. You want to pay for it?
Okay.
No, sir.
Oh my
All right.
lord.
So this one is for Josh.
Okay, I gotta get this.
Stay out of the
All right.
comments, Josh.
Both of you.
I'm out.
All right. Put these players in order by fantasy points in PPR. DeAndre Swift, Cole Beasley, and DeAndre Hopkins.
Ah, the cross positional. You dingbat.
Shoot.
Pass it. I dare you.
Ooh. He sounds confident.
I pass.
Cole Beasley, DeAndre Swift, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. Okay. Good for you, man. Good for you, I guess.
I know Cole Beasley's at the top.
The confidence is killing it. So like, I'm not gonna argue with you.
DeAndre Hopkins is up there. He might be better than DeAndre
That-
Swift.
that's
Oh
the thing.
God, he
I-
probably is.
I
Oh,
could
now that
not
I'm thinking about it,
decipher.
I'm keeping it the way it was, but I'm pretty sure DeAndre Hopkins was. I'm keeping it. Cole Beasley, DeAndre Swift, DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not going to change it after Josh's
See,
reaction.
that's the thing. I'm not sure.
I know Cole Beasley's number one.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Mhm.
DeAndre Hopkins had 25.7 points.
Oh God,
Okay.
nope. I don't think Swift had more than that.
Cole Beasley had 27.9 fantasy points.
So he's ahead of
Huh.
DeAndre
So
Hopkins.
he's ahead of DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Swift had 25.9 fantasy points.
I forgot how
Simon,
many.
you got it.
No, what?
Cole Beasley, DeAndre Swift, DeAndre Hopkins.
Why? Yeah, that was in our Josh math one. You mother.
Well, yeah, sort of, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's pretty close.
Josh
It's
Matthew.
0.2 points. It's Josh Madden.
Uh-huh.
What can I say?
Yeah.
You get
All
burned
right,
so many
I'll allow
times,
it.
start playing with fire.
Yeah, look,
That's what they always
look
say.
at what it turned me into a horror.
Hey, or however you would pronounce it.
A whore.
Oh.
A whore. A whore.
All right, we got a question from
What's the
Kellis.
question?
Does Cook have a good matchup against Dallas this week?
What is Cook?
Yeah.
Wait. The Vikings
Da-
are playing Dallas, right? Not the Saints.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Who is playing? Because I was thinking Jared
Vikings.
Cook. No,
Vikings
it's
are playing the
Vikings,
Cowboys.
Vikings, yeah.
It's Dalvin Cook, and the Cowboys, if I remember correctly, have like a bottom 10 fantasy points run defense. I think they might be 10th exactly, 10th worst against the running back. But yeah, that's a good matchup, and
It's a great matchup.
you're never benching Cook ever. So even if he's playing the number one run defense in the league, you're not benching Cook. And this weekend, you can be thrilled that you're starting him.
Yep.
Yeah, the Cowboys aren't going to score a ton either, so it's not like it's going to set the Vikings back. They want to run the ball as much as they can with Dalvin Cook.
Man, I really wish we would have gotten a full season of Dak with that defense.
Oh my God. It would be, I mean, it's kind of like Russell Wilson a little bit, their defense is really bad and he's lighting it up.
It would have been fun to see that for a full year.
I mean, he wasn't number 1 or number 2 quarterback when he got hurt, I believe.
I saw a tweet today, I forget what it was, but it named like 5 starting quarterbacks that Dak still had more passing yards than with only 5 games.
Wow.
I
That's like Christian McCaffrey had like a similar thing in like week 6 or week 7. He was still like top 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
That's
absurd.
my question. Am I going to sweep you, Josh?
Yeah, this is going quick.
No.
All right. Let's see.
Let me get out of the chat.
All right, Simon.
I'm saying in the chat. Just kidding.
Put
I left.
Put these players in order by fantasy points in PPR. Cole Beasley, Big Ben, and Naheem Hines.
Ooh, cross positional.
Big Ben had a big week.
Big Ben, big week. If you know what I'm saying.
Man,
What are you saying?
You dingbat with these cross positional ones. You really threw me for a loop here.
They screw you.
Because I know, like, in relation to other people in the same position, how a lot of people did, but you throw it across positions, and I'm really struggling.
Yeah.
So, but we know how many points Cole Beasley had if we were listening.
Were you listening?
Yeah.
I think I was listening, but I'm not going to say it.
I know. I'm going to pass this to Josh. We'll let Josh. Okay, fine. You know, you don't want it, then I'll take it, Josh.
I feel like I could take it, but you got it. You keep it.
Okay, fine. You know what? We're going to humiliate Josh the old-fashioned way. It's just
You're
going to
gonna
be, yeah, but it's going to be me answering questions right to take Josh out.
I think I know the
old-fashioned
answer.
way.
I actually do. So I was kind of like, I don't think I know the answer, but I think I know. I know what I would go with.
I know of the answer.
I'm going
I know of
to I'm going to go Big Ben, Naeem Hines, Cole Beasley.
I would not. I would. Yep. I would have switched Big Ben and Beasley.
So you
No,
went.
I would have switched Naeem Hines and Beasley for you. I think.
So you went Big
No.
Ben. Say it again.
Big Ben, Naeem Hines, Cole Beasley. Even
All
though
right.
Cole Beasley was the number 1 PPR wide receiver this week.
As I mentioned,
think he had 27.4. Is that what you said?
27.9 fantasy
0.9.
points. PPR. Naheem Hines at 28.5 and Big Ben at 29.3. I think we need to open an investigation into Simon cheating, but
Dude.
apart from that, so far he is currently.
Oh wait, Big Ben
judged.
did score out. Oh man. Okay, that I would have switched those two.
It was more Josh math. Dude, there is no cheating going on. I'm just feeling myself today.
Don't.
No,
feel
I
yourself
believe
on
him
screen.
actually. I feel good good energy coming over there. He's radiating good energy.
Radiating, yeah.
Radiating good energy.
Well, Josh, you're on the precipice of defeat, my friend.
Hey, listen, I've came back from worse.
You have.
Have I actually?
Mesopotamia, to be specific.
Hey,
Hey.
I forgot what I was going to say after that. We got a question from Sean. It looks like, how worried are you about the Jaguars rushing matchup versus Pitt? Are you starting J-Rob or I could put in Mike Davis half PPR? Josh, you go first.
Oh, I'm sorry, J-Rob. Pitt's defense is great, but there have been people that have beaten him this year, and he's involved in the passing game. He's not coming off the field. I would go J-Rob.
Yeah, J-Rob's put himself in the category of I'm not benching him. He's one of those running backs where I'm just not doing. I'm not going to get cute. I'm not going to try to play the matchup with J-Rob. He's elevated himself enough that I'm not playing that game. Could Mike Davis have a better week? Yeah, but he also hasn't looked great recently. The magic wore off. I think he heard McCaffrey was coming back and he transferred his magic to him. And then McCaffrey got carted off the field again, except not literally.
They don't put that on him. I wouldn't be afraid of starting Mike Davis over James Robinson personally.
Really?
It's close. I think like you guys already touched on like the two sort of sides here. And I think they even out. James Robinson has a much worse matchup compared to Mike Davis. Mike Davis has
That's true.
the best matchup.
Who are they playing?
Detroit.
Lions.
who
I
is
was
not
Detroit again.
good against the run.
But
And Mike Davis hasn't really been playing that well. It looks like he's kind of like run out of steam from how he looked earlier in the season. So I think those two things balance each other out a little bit. And I'd be fine starting Mike Davis or James Robinson, honestly.
they're probably going to end up close in rankings. If it's my fantasy team, I feel like I'm putting James Robinson in there.
That's fair.
But that's just me.
Got another one. All right. Half PPR, Jamison Crowder or Jacoby Myers.
So I'll say real fast. Jamison Crowder, he kind of scared me this last week, especially with everyone else getting involved. So it's scaring me.
These matchups both are fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with either of these matchups, but it's not like you're looking at either matchup and going like, hell yeah, smash the receiver button. Like, you have to play receivers in this matchup. That being said, New England at Houston, I think, has a better chance of there being more points put up, like a higher scoring game. Jacoby Myers has seen a ridiculous target share currently from Cam.
And he can throw touchdowns.
Yeah, I love – oh, and he can throw touchdowns. Yeah, that was fun. I love Jamison Crowder, but I think I'm going Jacoby Myers. I'm not gonna let my bias or my preseason rankings take over here. And based on what we've seen recently, I'm starting Jacoby Myers at Houston over Jamison Crowder.
I would start Jamison Crowder.
I think I'm on Simon's side, where I don't want to let my bias, because I do like Jamison Crowder a lot, and Jacoby Myers has just been killing it, and yes. I would have to play him over Jamison Crowder at this point.
That's a tough one, though. That's a good question.
That's a really good question.
Those are the kinds of decisions that like keep me up at night. Sometimes they're easy ones. Those are the kinds of ones where I'm like laying there like, oh God, I'll probably switch it 20 times before the game starts.
Yeah,
but I think Jacoby Myers. So,
all right.
Whose question is it? Josh's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Simon, you had the last one. All right, Josh.
Josh, you're sitting there dangling off the edge. You're holding on by one hand.
Don't dangle. This isn't a dangle
dance. I'm a dangler.
Yeah, the dangle dance off was yesterday. No, yesterday was the doo-doo dance off.
Doo-doo dance off. Yeah, not as dirty. All right, Josh. Who had more receptions in Week 10? Deontay Johnson or J.D. McKissic?
Shoot.
Oh, man, that's a good question. That's a great question.
I don't know.
Josh, you know what it is that's letting me? It's this juice. It's got to be good for my brain.
I think I need some of that juice. Is that beet juice? It looks beety.
There's beet in there. It's carrot, beet, parsley, ginger, apple, turmeric, and black pepper. That goes straight to your brain. That puts fantasy knowledge in your brain actively.
The black pepper. There you have it. Listen, I know J.D. McKissic got a ton of catches. He got at least like 6, 7, 8. I don't think he got any more than that. I don't remember how many Deontay Johnson got. I know he was the highest scorer out of the Steelers. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Juju, all top 12 receivers, I think, top 10 receivers. I'll go with J.D. McKissic just because I'm not sure how many catches Deontay Johnson got.
So you're playing it, and you're going to go J.D. McKissic.
Yes.
I think you're right, but I'm not positive. I do think you're right, though.
All right. Deontay Johnson had 6 receptions.
Ooh, that was more than I thought he had.
McKissic
had 6, 7, or 8 at least.
McKissic had 7. So Josh,
let's go.
This has been all Josh math. This entire episode.
You're Josh mathing the crap out of him.
100%. I want him to get a taste of his own medicine.
And I'm losing too.
And you're losing. So
imagine if I was sweeping Simon. That would be awesome.
That would be terrible.
Man, I wanted the sweep so bad.
Hold on.
Close. I thought he was going to be wrong. All right, we got a couple questions here.
Yeah.
Should I trade James Conner for Swift?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I was surprised about today? And sorry, Jill, if this is one of your questions. I was looking at season-long rankings. Did you know DeAndre Swift has more points on the season than Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Did not know that.
in
I did
PPR.
not know that at all.
Barely. I think it's by less than a point. But DeAndre Swift is outscoring Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the season.
Oh my God. Wow.
Isn't that why? I think people are downplaying how well Swift has started doing in the second half of this season. Because it was kind of disappointing in the beginning watching him really split time with the other backs there and play like second, third fiddle to AD and Carry-On. But he's coming on strong. Name the starter. I think you do this trade. I trade James Conner for Swift. And you know what? It's not even that close for me. I'm taking DeAndre Swift rest of season. I'm not stressing about that decision. What about you guys? Do you guys have different opinions?
I'll probably make that trade
Do it. Trading makes fantasy fun, guys.
if you can. I tried making a trade last night, thinking I could, outwit Sleeper's logic. And then, okay, it's the week's games haven't officially passed. I was not.
Yeah.
It was like the trade deadline has passed. It's like, damn it.
I feel like a lot of
Wasted
people
20
have their
minutes.
trade deadline at 11 or 12, though. So there might be some more people who have a week or two left to trade.
Exactly.
I want to
Get those trades in, boys and girls, while you can. Do it.
while you can.
It
Katie, we have-
will be good.
We have some more questions.
Yep. All right.
3 and 6, sixth seed. 6 seeds make playoffs. It's a close race. So 6 teams make the playoffs. They're currently the 6th seed. PPR team. Wentz. So Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, I'm guessing at quarterback. DJ Moore, unless that's David Moore. Let's assume DJ Moore, DJ Chark, AJ Brown, DK, Jefferson, Hollywood.
Ooh.
It's a nice young wide receiver
Derrick
core
Henry,
right there.
Jacobs, Hunt. Wow.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Kareem Hunt, Jerick McKinnon.
How are you 3 and 6?
Whew. So he's asking if he should trade
Well,
Jacobs and AJ Brown for Cook, for Dalvin Cook. Yeah, you're not going to. I mean, with the wide receivers you have, you're totally fine without AJ Brown. And then Jacobs to Cook is an upgrade. What do you guys think?
I don't know if that's enough of an up. Like, that's a lot to give up for. I mean, I know I'm higher on Jacobs than you, Simon. So
Jacobs has just been so inconsistent this year. He has these games with 2 touchdowns, and then he'll score you 6 points for a couple weeks. It seems like, I mean, maybe not that bad, but that's what it's felt like watching him. Cook is playing out of his mind right now, just
only
behind
had
Alvin
one-
Kamara.
only had 1 week with 6 points.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs has got to be like the 5th highest scoring running back so far this year, right? Like somewhere around
Yeah,
that.
fifth,
7.
yep.
Okay.
Fifth. Cook is second, right?
No, I'm not saying it's a bad trade. For your team, it improves your starting lineup, but does it improve it that much? Can you, if you do have an injury, I'm a little worried for your wide receivers. AJ Brown is your best receiver outside DK. He just had a down week, though.
You did.
I don't think I could do this trade personally.
I don't think I would either.
I don't think I could.
I think
I'm
I would.
trying to do a trade so hard with that, and if that's the only trade I can get done, I would consider it at the trade deadline. But I feel I know you're trying to win, but
So
What
this
about
comes down.
Jacobs and McKinnon for Cook?
if you can get another
I doubt
someone else
anyone
in
would
there,
take that, but
Jacobs and Jefferson, maybe off the high week.
Jacobs and Jefferson, I would rather do for sure.
I would definitely do that
for
one.
sure. I would do
so
100% Hollywood.
I still
Two?
probably
you
would.
aren't
Go from
getting
5 to
anything for
2.
Hollywood. What's the difference in points per game between Jacobs and Cook, though? I feel like 5-2 is not illustrating how much better Cook has been.
But I think you also have to
I'll
take
look
into
up.
consideration Cook's injury history. He's had a long injury history, and that's part of. He's already missed games this year.
So I know Jalen and I have a different.
24.5 versus 14.5.
So that's a pretty big difference in points per game.
What was it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
24.5 and 14.5.
Oh, that's a lot.
But
That's a lot.
yeah, Dalvin Cooks is higher than most every other person.
Yeah. My philosophy whenever building teams to win championships, like as you come down this line, is you need everything to go right anyways. Like there's a piece of luck that comes in winning a fantasy championship. Things got to line up. And so I'm always trying to make moves that like they may be seen as riskier, but they're going to give me, if things go right, the best chance to win. I know Jail has a slightly different philosophy. He likes to build a little bit more depth, and I build really shallow lineups to go into the playoffs. Like I'll trade pieces away and I'll build a killer starting lineup with shallow benches because if things go wrong, I'm probably going to lose anyways. But I know that's a different philosophy. Jail and I have both won our league with our different philosophies recently. It's just a matter of how you like to build your team.
With his team being 3-6, he's got to win this week. Do the trade.
That's an interesting point there. Taking out the last 2 weeks where Dalvin Cook got like crazy high points, his fantasy points a game were 20.3, which is a little bit closer to Alvin Kamara, who's like the next best fantasy points per game on the season at 19. So, I don't know that Dalvin Cook will keep this up all season, but I do like what Josh said. They're 3-6. Maybe it makes sense to make that trade. I personally would not.
I feel like the upgrade's not a ton, but it upgrades your starting lineup this week. So,
yep,
trading makes fantasy fun.
Trading makes fantasy fun.
Listen, I got a general rule I'm going to go forward with. If it's really close in my mind, I'm going to say yes because it makes it fun.
Okay. We beat that one. That one was a tough one, but we beat that. Let's see. J-Rob and Lockett, too much for Henry. Standard format. Current RBs are CMC, Jones Williams. So I'm guessing Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams in case Aaron Jones goes down. J-Rob, Gaskin, and GT. And current wide receivers are McLaurin, Lockett, Godwin, Chark, and Debo. So is this let's just assume a 2 wide receiver league because that's standard. That's a lot to give up for Henry.
It's standard though, so that helps him.
Oh, is this a standard league?
Yeah, standard format.
Standard format.
Okay. So no
that
PPR.
Hurt J-Rob a lot, in my opinion, honestly. Because a lot of his fantasy value is built on those receptions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's too much. But in a standard, maybe it's closer. Josh, that's a good point.
If it was the same situation as the previous guy we were just talking about, you're 3-6, you got to win this week.
I don't know because Lockett has a great matchup on Thursday night against the Cardinals. We were just talking about that. That's going to be a high scoring shootout of a game.
People, though, I mean, yeah. I mean, I would feel fine. Like you're saying, two receiver league, starting McLaurin, Godwin, and Chark.
But yeah, I guess I'm looking at this a different way. If you were starting CMC, Aaron Jones, and Derrick Henry in your fantasy playoffs, you got a good shot at a title.
So to give you guys some context, Derrick Henry in standard format has scored 151.3 fantasy points in the season, 16.8 fantasy points per game. James Robinson is and he's ranked third. Derrick Henry is ranked third in RBs. Nice. James Robinson is fourth with 133.7 at 14.9 fantasy points per game. So it's not a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
But as Josh said before, it's getting cold.
It's getting cold. So Derrick Henry will start to gather his energy.
Every year.
You know what?
Well, we don't know if James Robinson has the same superpower.
Oh yeah, maybe. Not many people have that superpower though.
You know what? I'm making this trade. I'm doing it because I am just looking at the potential playoff lineup of CMC and Aaron Jones, and then Derrick Henry in the flex with McLaurin and Godwin. Oh God, that's hot. That's getting me a little hot and bothered.
I get equally as excited though, thinking CMC, J-Rob,
yeah,
Aaron Jones, McLaurin, Lockett.
Yeah,
the audience came with the questions today.
These are good questions.
I'm doing the trade. Maybe who would you guys rather have rest of the season, Lockett or Godwin?
Godwin.
Lockett.
Yeah, I'm right on that
standard
line.
League?
Standard.
I would take Lockett. Sorry.
So maybe see if you could throw Godwin in there. Would you guys rather do J-Rob and Godwin for Henry?
No.
It's about the same. But yeah, I would. Just in a
I think I would. But
are you guys assuming that James Robinson is not going to that gap is going to get much wider between the two?
Yeah, I think Henry's going to have a much better end of the season.
Why? Because apart from it gets colder, so
I think Derrick Henry's a much better running back. And and I think they're going to ride him into the playoffs. They're on the precipice of making the playoffs now. Like they're not guaranteed anymore. They're no longer leading in their division. They need to win these games, and the best way for them to do that is through Derrick Henry's legs.
Why haven't they
I
done
think
that the rest of the first 10 weeks?
I mean, they've been following their game script. The situation of the season changes, and now they might have to change the way that they're game planning.
Okay.
You think you game plan the same way week 1 as you do week 11 if you're not in the playoff hunt?
No, I'm just curious what you think is going to change. Like we have 10 weeks of data that suggests that that there's not a big difference. And so I'm just curious what are you seeing or expecting that is going to change between?
I mean, and I don't think we can ignore that Derrick Henry does have a better second half of the season. And all joking aside with the cold comments, and this has been said before, I'm not the one coming up with this. Defenses get weaker as the season goes on, like playing every single week, practicing every day. Maybe they gel better as a unit, but defenses get worn down towards the playoffs. And Derrick Henry, as much as he's a second half of the season runner, he's a second half of the game runner as well. He can just slog for 1-2 yards carry, then break off an 80-yard run when the defense gets tired in the third, fourth quarter. We're entering third, fourth quarter of the season. Defenses are a little bit more tired. It's time for Derrick Henry to thrive in there.
With that argument, both Robinson would have an easier time too, though, right? Assuming that the defenses are.
But he's less of a downhill runner. Like Josh said, he makes some of his money in the passing game too. Derrick Henry's more of that like powered downhill runner, wear down the defense. Kind of like I just blanked. Never mind. Kind of like someone else who does that. Let's look at their playoff schedules. So Jaguars weeks 14, 15, 16 have Titans, Ravens, Bears. Yeah. Titans, Ravens, Bears. That's a tough playoff schedule for James Robinson.
That is tough,
Ravens in week 15 and then Bears in week 16. I'm not a huge fan of that either. Let's see the Titans playoff schedule. I don't know that. Obviously, they play the Jaguars week 14 because they play each other. But then they've got Lions, the worst run defense in the league, and Packers, another horrible run defense. That pushes it over the edge for me as well.
That was good looking up the playoff defenses. That actually, I mean, everything we're saying here, I think makes a lot of sense. It's a tough trade. It's a really tough trade. The value is probably on J-Rob and Lockett's side, but the value of being able to put Henry in your lineup for the playoffs might set it over the edge for an 8-2 team.
It's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So even if you don't buy into the narrative of the second half, which is totally fine. I know that is very narrative driven. The playoff schedule, I think, it's not like kind of close. It's like 2 of the 3 matchups for Derrick Henry are bottom 3 against fantasy running backs.
I think all 3 are.
They're all horrible. I don't think they're all bottom 3 though. Yeah, the Jaguars are, what are they? Let's see. I can look that up. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Definitely
Jaguars are seventh worst. Lions are first. Packers are third worst. So first, third, and 7th.
Another question.
All right, yeah, let's get it.
PPR, do I trade Hayden Hurst, Josh Jacobs for Eckler, Jared Cook, and Miles Sanders? For Eckler, Jared Cook, and Miles
Sanders. Weird trade. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't think I would, just because I don't really have a strong opinion between Hurst and Jared Cook, and then
I'd much rather have Hurst.
I'd rather have Jacobs than Miles Sanders, but
add
Miles
Eckler
Sanders
in there.
and Eckler.
Man, yeah. Now, actually, the more that I'm looking at
it, come back.
What's up?
We know when Austin Eckler is expected to be back.
We saw that video of him running a few days ago. He's like, "Hey, I'll be back before you know," but he doesn't even look that fast in that video, according to me. And I'm no professional.
It says Chargers running back Austin Eckler looks like he could return from his injury this week.
All right,
nothing official yet, but
yeah, I'd probably take.
There's no way in hell.
Yeah, I take back what I said. I think I'm taking the Eckler Miles Sanders side.
It's a weird trade, though.
I would. The only reason I wouldn't do this is because I'm just a little uncomfortable with the trade itself. Like,
yeah,
Jacobs is definitely the more for sure. But if you think Eckler is going to come back and just pick up where he left off, then this is a no-brainer. Just a little nervous.
These types of trades are harder to get done typically, just because you're sort of trading on the discrepancy between how you value these players and how your league mate does, versus like it's kind of throwing positional need out the window a bit. But if your league mate is willing to make this trade, I'd probably do it.
I'd rather have
Okay.
Hurst than Cook, but Eckler and Miles Sanders, I guess, over Josh Jacobs because Miles Sanders and Josh Jacobs are close-ish.
More on that. The J. Rob, Derrick Henry, and Lockett. His team is 8-2. So specifically for playoffs, then I would consider it then. All right, you guys.
Whose
ready?
turn is it? Whose turn? Josh just answered that one, so it's
Yes,
my
I did.
turn.
So it's your turn. Okay.
Yep.
All right, time for you to get yours wrong.
Boom for the game, or should I pass
All
it
right.
to you and let you determine? This is for
Pass
you,
it.
Josh.
Do it. I'm gonna get it right.
All
Wait,
right.
I pointed the wrong way.
All right, Simon. Who had more receiving yards in Week 10? T. Higgins or Cole Beasley?
You might as well just call this like Cole Beasley horse.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. Cole Beasley horse.
That's actually his last name. Beasley's his
Take,
middle name.
take a ride on Cole Beasley.
CBH. Cole Beasley horse.
Oh
Man,
my god.
I feel like you're trying. It seems like the obvious answer would be Cole Beasley because he was the number one wide receiver PPR on the week, but
Yeah.
he was not the number one wide receiver in standard or half, which makes me think that maybe. Oh, but he made his money on receptions then, which would lean towards yardage. I don't know. T had that touchdown catch, but I feel like they couldn't get moving against the Steelers all that much. I can't tell if Jail's trying to trick me or if he's trying to double trick me. Like, as if he's trying to
triple trick.
it could be the classic
Yeah,
triple
or-
trick.
or the quadruple trick.
I'm gonna go with Cole Beasley had
Yep,
more receiving yards.
All right.
Oh God, were you double tricking me? You were double
Cole
tricking me.
I think
Beasley
he was
had-
quad tricking you.
Cole Beasley had 109 receiving.
That's
a lot of
that's a
receiving
lot of
yards.
receiving
That's
yards.
a lot of receiving yards.
I'm not even sure the Bengals moved that much against the Steelers.
T. Higgins had 115.
What?
Yep.
Let's go.
Josh
I
is still
swear-
in it.
I swear that's
Living-
more yards than the Bengals had total in that game.
Probably,
God.
you're probably wrong. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You're
Nope.
probably wrong.
I mean, logistically, probably, but emotionally,
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah. Got him.
Oh god. Okay.
Man.
Good. I'm ready.
you know what it is.
I'm ready to win this game now.
I ran out of juice.
Oh no, not the juice.
Oh no, then turmeric.
I
All
never
right.
know how to pronounce that word
Turmeric.
because it's got that R in there, but I feel like you're not supposed to say it.
Turmeric.
Okay, Josh, your turn.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, we got a couple questions here.
Okay.
For the playoffs, who is better PPR flex, Crowder or Damian Harris?
I need to look up their playoff schedules.
Yeah, look at their playoff
Pretty sure
schedules,
it's
but
Crowder.
my gut right now at this point is telling me Damian Harris. I mean,
Really?
he's looking good. Yeah.
Jets have
Um,
Seahawks, Rams, Browns. Patriots have Rams, Dolphins, Bills.
I don't think those are good matchups for either person necessarily.
I mean, it's one good matchup for
Bills is
Jameson
bad.
Crowder.
yeah.
Oh, Seattle was not particularly good against the pass.
Oh, they're horrible against the pass. They might be the worst.
Cleveland as well.
Cleveland is also very bad against the pass.
Are they?
Yeah, their secondary is awful.
I know that. I was just surprised because they usually have slower games. I'm just thinking fantasy wise.
They've had a couple bad. Their past two games have been really bad weather, which has limited the passing game. So while our secondary is not great, we've had an assist from Cleveland weather. But
So for this, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking the Jets. I like Jamison Crowder. He's probably the most talented person on that team. Like I said, person for a reason. But they're trying to get
What?
younger. Like, yeah,
is there a
same
more talented animal on the team?
person
Inanimate
player,
object.
that out of all the players on their team, Jamison's got it.
Gotcha. There's a
not just
reason
wide
I
receiver.
clarified he was human.
Yes. So they're trying to get younger. They're trying to work in these young guys. Denzel Mims going to get more and more targets. They like Brashard Perryman. I don't know why, but
you think Jameson
Brashard?
Crowder is more talented than Denzel Mims?
I don't know yet. They're
Okay.
different. They're completely
Yeah.
different.
Okay, I just wanted to get that on record.
Sam, everything about the Jets is not inspiring, right? So And Harris is up and coming. He just ran over the Ravens. He's looking good. If he stays the lead back, he's going to be pretty solid, and he's a running back.
But
Definitely is.
He doesn't catch the ball, period. Like, just period, doesn't catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's Sexy Rexy's job right now, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if does that change it for you at all, or you're still going Harris?
I'm going to go Harris. We don't know what's going to happen by the time the playoffs roll around, but what I'm seeing so far, I like Harris more. I'd rather have him on my team than Jamison Crowder.
I would go Crowder. I think Harris, he's looked good. We have a smaller sample. He's only really been relevant the last 3 weeks. And 1 week was against Buffalo, which is Patriots play weird against division rivals. It's narrative argument, but I don't know. I've seen that play out how many years now. And last week against the Ravens, it was pouring rain. And so I don't know that is going to be indicative of the rest of how they're going to use him the rest of the season. I think Crowder's probably your safer bet. But if Harris continues to do well at the next 2 weeks, my answer would probably change.
I think right now I lean Crowder because it's PPR. If this was standard, I would go Harris, and if it was half, I would quit the stream. Okay.
I feel you guys. I think both of those are fine answers. I really do.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, good job, guys.
All right. So with Kellis Talks team in mind, trade Henry for James Robinson, Deshaun Watson, and Claypool or Gaskin or Higgins or Demon.
So of those four, who would you want the most? I would want Higgins the most out of those four. I'm guessing what they're saying, J-Rob, Watson, and one of those four.
Parentheses,
yeah.
Claypool or Gaskin or Higgins or Demont.
Yeah.
The order operations here. Higgins out of those four for sure.
So let's look at the trade in that lens, like J-Rob, Watson, and Higgins. So would you trade Henry for who's their quarterback, Wentz or Matt Ryan?
Let's see if I can find this team again.
I've got it. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, I'm seeing this and I'm assuming, with that team in mind.
4-6, by the way.
Why do you need any of those receivers? Trade Henry. Wait, I'm confused.
I'm keeping Derrick Henry.
Should he trade away Derrick Henry for J-Rob, Watson? Who's his QB? Wentz and Matt Ryan. I would maybe make this trade. I don't think you need to. It gets into the same argument we were having, or the same conversation we were having before about Derrick Henry is going to give you a bit of an edge, and so your team is probably good enough to keep that. You can handle having Derrick Henry and keeping that small advantage is going to give you over J-Rob, but pretty much any other team, I would take that trade.
I'm keeping Henry with your roster. I'm keeping Henry.
Yes, me too.
All right.
Okay. So it's Josh's turn.
Yes, I believe so.
Let me get out of the
You
comments.
infinitely decline J-Rob Lockett for Henry. That's his path.
His prerogative.
Yeah.
All right. Did I update the score?
Yes, you made me a hoe.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this one's for Simon?
Nope. I just got one wrong.
Josh. Gotcha. Okay. All right, Josh. Who had more targets in Week 10, Alvin Kamara or DeAndre Hopkins?
Man, I know Alvin Kamara. I'm going to go Alvin Kamara. I know he had a ton of targets. I'm not exactly sure how many, but he made his day on his receiving. So,
but the last target for DeAndre Hopkins, I'm pretty sure counted as 5.
Actually, and I'm thinking about it, DeAndre Hopkins, I watched a lot of that game. He was targeted at a crap ton. I'm probably wrong here, but I'm going to stay with Alvin Kamara. I'm thinking about it. He was targeted a lot. Now, it probably isn't. Oh, man. Okay, staying with Alvin Kamara, though.
You're sticking with Kamara?
It's the sextuple bamboozle.
Sextuple bamboozle. That's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, I know Kamara was targeted a lot, but now I'm thinking about it. Hopkins was targeted probably a little bit more. It's okay.
All right. I looked at this wrong. So what was your answer, Josh?
Kamara.
All right. Kamara had 8 targets on the week.
DeAndre Hopkins had more than that.
Hopkins had 12.
Yeah.
I am sorry, Josh. You lose your stinky butt face.
No, Jail. He's very explicitly something.
He is a horse.
You're a horse.
I don't want to
Make
be
the
a
noise.
horse.
Do it. Make the noise. Yes.
That was way better than I could ever imagine. Man,
Josh
I was
is
really
good.
hoping it would come down to the last question. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
give it
hit
to
it.
us.
All right. Josh, you can redeem yourself if you know the answer to this.
Okay.
This is you. When was the last time Willie Snead scored more than 23 fantasy points in PPR?
What do you
Which is
mean
what
when?
What season? When was the
Oh.
last season?
So it wasn't in a week this year, is what you're telling us.
Yes, he scored 23.4 fantasy points, something like that. And this
I'm gonna
So-
guess it was when that Derrick Henry trade happened. The Derrick Henry for Willie.
That was my initial feeling, actually.
Whatever
But
that
I'm not
year
gonna
was.
say that. I'm not going to say that. That wouldn't be my answer. I would have brought it up if this was my question. I would have been like, I just did the Derrick Henry trade. Obviously, Willie Snead had some value then, but I don't think he even scored that many points. I really don't. I'm going to go with when he was with Drew Brees back in 2000. Oh yeah, it was like 2 years. I'll say 2017.
I would have said 2018 because I'm pretty sure that's when that trade happened.
Well, you're both wrong. It was 2016. Josh,
No
you're
way.
right.
Oh,
Balderdash.
Week 1 against Oakland. I'm pretty sure he was on the Saints then.
yeah. You
Yeah.
had some good games with Drew Brees.
He did. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, Josh. You lose. You're a stinky horse.
Oh man, if it would have all come down to that, that would have been baloney.
Yeah, that would have been
Yes,
nuts.
2018.
That would have been nuts.
I
Okay.
kept mistaking him for a tight end. I was tweeting about this. Like I was watching that game, and I just kept thinking, "Oh, they threw it to a tight end," and then it was, nope, it's Willie Snead again.
Yeah,
Like he
Yeah.
must have bulked up or something because he
No.
looked a lot bigger. I feel like he
Willie-
used to be a skinny
Wi-
guy.
Willie Snead is a thick dude.
Has he always been a thick dude?
I don't know, but like I remember so I had the same thing happen to you. I remember hearing on the radio locally because I live around Baltimore. They were like saying he ran into him, Willie Snead, in the elevator, and he was just a giant human being. I was like, I don't remember Willie Snead being that big. And I looked it up, and he is a big dude, and he is thick. He's just like got a thick body. That's what I like. I like
Where did he
thick body.
finish this week? Oh, he finished as the number 7 receiver. Now I'm pulling it up. Now that we're done playing, I beat Josh.
Who? Willie
Willie
Snead?
Snead. Willie Snead. This week.
I don't know.
Man. Yeah, he finished. Let me pull it up. The
think
number
it was that high,
7,
was it?
number 7 PPR receiver this week.
Snead?
Yeah. Man, that's wild. I'm just looking at these charts, like RB, wide receiver, and tight
He
end.
was number 3 in standard.
It looks like a joke. Like the names, like you look at the running back one, you got Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs. You're like, okay, cool. And then it goes Naeem Hines, DeAndre Swift, Ronald Jones, Rex Burkhead, Antonio Gibson, Devontae Booker, Malcolm Brown, Wayne Gallman, Nick Chubb, JD McKissick. That was your top 12. at
Everyone
running
you would
back.
expect.
Right.
I
exactly.
did play Wayne Gallman this week. It worked
I
out.
played JD McKissick.
That is smart, actually. It worked out too.
Okay. Is that
Too
it
bad
for
you
us?
couldn't parlay that success into fantasy horse, but you know,
Josh, you had me scared there for a second. I thought you were about to make a comeback.
yeah, close to a
After
comeback.
I got that I was like, oh no, it's happening. I'm
I
pulling the
acc-
Falcons.
I accidentally wrote down DeAndre Hopkins's receptions instead of his targets, and so like in my notes I have that Kamara has more.
I'm
but-
really glad you fact checked.
But I did double check myself.
I'm glad I was saying over here, like, I know he had a lot of targets.
All right.
Okay. Well,
We did it.
congratulations, Josh. You suck. I'm the winner. If you guys want to go back and watch the times that Josh didn't suck so hard, he beat me a little bit. You can find some of these older
Usually.
videos on our YouTube channel, Front Yard Fantasy. Subscribe over there so you never miss out. You can also find us on Twitch, Front Yard Fantasy. We were having some technical problems with Twitch earlier, but we are back and running, and it won't happen again. And if it does, JL will fix it.
I'll try.
True.
You can find us on Twitter. I'm FYF Simon. John Luke is at FYF John Luke. And Josh is at FYF Josh. Our Front Yard Fantasy Twitter handle is at Front Yard FYF. We tweet about all the streams there, send out all that information.
You
So
can
you can
ask
always
us some
have all the
questions.
links. Yeah, you can ask us our questions directly to that Twitter account.
or our
We would
personal.
love to answer questions for
personal
you guys
account.
anytime. Reach out to us if they're trading questions, especially because trading makes fantasy fun. And we don't have much time, guys.
The deadline's fast for a lot of leagues.
A lot of people no longer can trade, and it's sad. So get it in while you can. Do it.
If you're in dynasty leagues, this is the time where you start planning out your off-season moves. Yes. You start looking at it and you lay out hundreds of hypothetical trades. lay out 200, 198 of them are going to get declined, and then the other two are going to have a horrible counter sent back. And then you start over. But that's what this time is for.
Commandeer your kitchen wall. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. And just take Crown and start drawing out the permutations, all the different trade options you can have.
And take what?
That's how you win.
Yeah, we're not going to get into a crayon crown debate right now, but I want to.
Crayon.
How many syllables? How many syllables in the word crayon?
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Thank you for tuning in to
guys.
Live stream.
We'll have our syllable debate tomorrow, round 2. The Williams one ended in a draw.
It did not. It ended in a swift defeat.
Nope. Swift did great this week, JL. We will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Adios.